Coping with COVID is brought to you by the South Carolina Department of Health and Environmental Control. Visit scdheck.gov for an updated list of testing sites and important information on how to protect yourself, your family, and friends from the coronavirus. SCDHEC, healthy people, healthy communities. Also, the City of Columbia Office of Business Opportunities, helping to meet the needs of small, minority, and women-owned businesses in the City of Columbia. Log on to columbiasc.net/OBO. Agape Counseling and Training Center. Call 803-779-2777 for licensed professionals of counselors and social workers helping families, engaged and married couples, and individuals of all ages gain an understanding of all aspects of their life. If you're having a challenge coping with COVID, contact Agape Counseling and Training Center at agapects.com. And Columbia Housing Authority. The agency is looking for stories from former residents of Allen Benedict Court to retain some of the property's rich history. In its 80-year life, Allen Benedict Court has been home to some of the country's elite, including a Grammy Award-winning performer, corporate executives, national television celebrities, a host of doctors, lawyers, and NBA greats. So share your pictures, mementos, and memories at chcares@chasc.org. Coping with COVID, brought to you by the South Carolina Department of Health and Environmental Control, the City of Columbia Office of Business Opportunities, Columbia Housing Authority, Agape Counseling and Training Center, and Palmetto Media Connection.
Coping with COVID with Tre Tailor.
Fight the spread and take a stand against coronavirus. Wear a mask in public. Stay at least 6 feet apart from others. And get tested. Join us and fight the spread. Visit scdheck.gov/COVID-19.
Hey, good afternoon. I'm Tre Tailor, and welcome to Coping with COVID, updates on the pandemic and information to help you thrive and survive COVID-19. It's brought to you by SCDHEC, the City of Columbia Office of Business Opportunities, Columbia Housing Authority, and Agape Counseling and Training Center. If you're having some challenges coping with COVID, please contact Agape Counseling and Training Center. Coping with COVID is also brought to you by Palmetto Media Connections. Well, Palmetto AIDS Life Support Services is an integral part of the community, providing education, resources, and services about HIV/AIDS for every man and woman. And they join us today to discuss PrEP and National Gay Men's HIV Awareness Day. Thank you all so much for joining us today. I'm looking forward to this great conversation.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I want to encourage you to tag your friends of all genders and all sexual orientations, because this is a conversation you won't want to miss. And it's coming up next on Coping with COVID. But first, your COVID community updates. Nationally syndicated radio personality Charlemagne the God has made a generous donation to enable folks in the Colony and North Point apartments to have free internet service. The City of Columbia and Ignite Cities launched the effort to provide free Wi-Fi for those who need it during school and at work. Installing the services will not cost a thing for the City of Columbia or its residents. The Sumter County Sheriff's Department is looking for 17-year-old Diamond Thompson. She was last seen at her home on September 19th. They believe she may have left in a dark-colored SUV. Now, officials say the teen is on medication and did not take it with her. The African-American girl is 5 feet 6 inches tall, 160 pounds, and has brown hair and brown eyes. If you have any information, please contact Crime Stoppers at 1-888-CRIME-SC. And another high school football game has been postponed due to COVID. The Lexington Wildcats game scheduled for this weekend against Beaufort and the game against White Knoll have been canceled. This after team members tested positive for the coronavirus. Now, ticket refunds will be handled by the Lexington High School Athletic Office. And COVID testing continues through October 3rd in Columbia at MLK Park and Founders Park. Now, the drive up and walk through sites are free, and those under 16 must have a legal guardian. Everyone tested will receive 5 free cloth face masks, and an appointment is needed. Log on to doineedacovid19test.com and check the screen for more information, dates, times, and locations. Now, SCDHEC has your most up-to-date listings of dates, times, and locations for COVID testings in South Carolina. That includes Florence, Sumter, Orangeburg, Aiken, and Allendale. Also, Newberry, Camden, and Winsboro. That information will be scrolling at the bottom of the screen throughout the show. Plus, check out the DHEC Care Line. They have information not only on COVID, but if you need transportation to get a COVID test, and if you'd like to sponsor a COVID screening in your neighborhood or at your event. Contact the information that is scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Now, in Richland County, paramedics will come into a home to actually administer a COVID test. So if you or someone you know is immobile and unable to be transported to get a COVID test, and I think they need one, please contact Richland County paramedics at 911 Monday through Friday between 9 and 5. Also, maskupcolumbiasc.com is still doing some great things. All you have to do is take a picture of yourself in a mask, post it to maskupcolumbiasc.com, and then get your family and friends to like and share it. You could win some cool prizes from the city of Columbia. Also, the South Carolina Bar Association and SC Legal have combined to offer services, information, and resources if you need rental or mortgage help. That information is scrolling at the bottom of the screen. It's website and phone number. And October 1st is the final day to apply for the funds through SC Thrive. Now, they are giving folks up to $1,500 in rental assistance. And it's a forgivable loan. You don't have to pay it back. But October 1st is approaching, and that is the deadline. The City of Columbia is also offering assistance on payment. They are giving folks up to 6 months, a 6 months payment plan if you have a past due bill. They also have payment assistance available. Up to 75% of the bill could be paid. All you have to do is contact the City of Columbia Water Bill Department. And you can hear from the candidates for the upcoming school board election in Richland 1 at 2 online town halls. The first one this weekend, September 27th, is with the 6 at-large school board candidates. And then October 4th for the Richland school board candidates for seat 2 and 4. Both town halls will start at 5 o'clock. They'll go till 7. And it's streaming live on the We Are R1 Facebook page, and right here on the Tailor Made Productions Facebook page. The Richland County Election Commission still needs poll workers. They've got about 1,000 and need 800 more. It is a paid position. So if you're interested in working the polls on Election Day in November, you can see the information right there on the bottom of the screen. Now, October 31st is the final day to register for the various courses and certifications that are being offered by SC Do. These are free. They're being offered in English and Spanish, and you can take as many as you like. Again, you do have to register by October 31st for certifications in business, technology, health, data science, arts, and humanities. Visit do.sc.gov for more information. And we talked to Nancy Smith from the South Carolina State Fair earlier this year. She told us about the scaled down 2-day only state fair due to COVID. Well, they are accepting large art from students. Now, submit your large student art by October 4th to Kathy at scstatefair.org. Check the bottom of the screen for submission information. Finally, Richland County will hold SC Counts. It's a day of action from 9 until 1 this Saturday at Keenan High School. Now, you'll be able to complete your census, get flu shot, test for COVID, and get free masks. Contact organizer Richland County Councilwoman Gretchen Barron for more information. Her contact information is right there on the screen. Also, coming up today, your chance to win. That's right, it's my birth month, and you are getting the prizes. We are hooking you up with Tre's birthday giveaway. Coping with COVID reusable masks, 10 disposable masks from the City of Columbia and Palmetto Media Connections, body butter from Sabriti, plus gift certificates from Janine the Coffee Queen, European Wax Center, New York High Style, and an autographed copy of Jennifer Bishop's book, Now Get Up and Go Be Great. It's my birth month, and you get the gifts on Coping with COVID with Tre Tailor, and that's happening all September long. We are streaming live on the Tailor Made Productions page. Please go over there and like and follow that page so you can check out Coping with COVID Monday through Saturday at 2 p.m. and also get all of your COVID-related updates. There's so much great information on that page. Please go over there and check it out. Also, we're streaming live on YouTube. Want to say hi to all of you YouTubers and ask you to please hit the subscribe button, okay? Go ahead and do that for me, won't you, please? Palmetto AIDS Life Support is an integral part of the community, providing education, resource, and services about HIV/AIDS for every man and woman. They join us today to discuss PrEP and National Gay Men's Awareness Day. Carmen Julious is the CEO of PALSS. She's joined by Dean Edwards, who is the program manager, and Tia Robinson is a nurse practitioner and PrEP program manager at DHEC's HIV STD division. Thank you all so much for joining us today on Coping with COVID.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for the work that you do in our community. Just tireless, not only with that population, but with everybody, including students. And we'll, talk about students when we come back. But first, let's find out, what is National Men's HIV Awareness Day, Carmen?
So National Gay Men's HIV Awareness Day is a national day where we try to ensure there's a spotlight on a population that carries an undue burden of HIV. We want to make sure that everybody understands what HIV risk factors are, and particularly for this population of men. We know that men who have sex with men are unduly have an heavy burden of HIV in their communities, and we want that message of hope and help to get to that community, to let them know there are people who are working to reduce the burden of HIV in that community, and that there are resources that they can take advantage of.
Is it still a problem with people knowing about it even now, after how many years? How many years has it been?
Well, 30? We're around about 35
30,
years.
yeah.
And the thing is, I think that as with everything, as with COVID, as with everything, we want to believe that we are not at risk, that others are at risk.
Yeah.
We all have that hope inside of us that risk is not aimed at us. I think also there's so much stigma attached to HIV.
There is.
Stigma is such a barrier to people getting the help that they need. Even when there is assistance available for them, even when they have access to that assistance, that stigma is such a barrier for most people.
Yeah. So what do men need to know, even now, 30 plus years after the onset of HIV/AIDS? What are you telling men? What's the goal of the day? I know you said that just to raise awareness. So what are some of those things, particularly Dean, if you can speak to this, that gay men need to know? And here's my other question. Is it just gay men, or is it bisexual men also?
Yes. So like Carmen said, this is the 13th year of the observation of National Gay Men's HIV Awareness Day. And it doesn't only include gay men. These are men who have sex with men, bisexual men, men who don't identify. So we want to get the message out that this virus is still around 35 years later. And really, the rates are getting higher for this population.
Really?
In 2016 to 17, there were 1,500 people tested positive for HIV in the state. Of them, 78% of them were men. Of them, 1,000, almost 1,100 were men who had sex with men. So yes, the rates are high amongst this population, and we still have to do our due diligence in reaching out to this population to provide those preventative measures for people to not get infected.
You mentioned something, Dean, about men that are, I think you call them unidentified, what did you call it, unidentified?
Yes.
So they don't identify. Is that what this is? They don't identify as being gay or
bisexual or what, they just, I do what I do.
Right. And I was going to say, but they're out here obviously having sex with men. Is that correct?
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
And that is fine. We tend to put labels on people.
Yeah.
And everybody does not identify or accept those labels. And I think that's perfectly fine.
Right.
So often when we market, we tend to market toward a particular label than toward behaviors. And I think we need to change that.
Yeah, I love that, Carmen, because you're right. Nobody wants to be labeled. Nobody wants to be put in a box and said, I am this or I am that, because tomorrow you may not be, or yesterday you may not have been, But just to say, if you're having sex with men, I mean, that's the action, that's what's happening. So if this is you, whether it's today, yesterday, or tomorrow, if we're thinking about it or did it 3 days or 3 years ago, you are at risk. So come on, get some help. Is that basically?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Definitely.
about behavior. It's about what you do, not who you are.
Yeah. So are the issues and concerns the same as they were then as now? And again, I keep coming back to this because, we're 30 plus years in, and I definitely get, there is a huge stigma. I guess what I'm trying to wrap my head around is how then do you all, disseminate the information or just, kind of get people to understand we are here. We don't care what the label is. We don't care what you're doing. But if you are doing it, come and get some help. We're here for you.
And so, I misspoke. We're closer to 40 years in this epidemic. I think that we as providers have to recognize that we are serving individual people.
Gotcha.
We can lump people into populations all we want, but when that person enters your door, they are an individual. Everyone has their own set of behaviors, has their own set of beliefs, has their own set of needs, and you have to serve that person in that way. When we are talking in science, we put people into populations, but when we're actually doing community services, we recognize that we're serving individual people and that one size does not fit all.
Right.
And I think that as a service providing community, all of our organizations attempt to do that. And I think that is more welcoming and easier to access for people when they are not, again, labeled, when they're not lumped into a population folk, when they're treated as an individual person, and that their individual needs are met.
Right. So what do you say? And Tia, we're going to bring you in a moment because I know we want to talk about PrEP, but what do you say to this population? What do you say to the individuals? Okay, if you're going to do this, here is what you need to do. And is it as simple as, and I don't know that this is simple as, making sure you protect yourself with a condom?
Yes, I agree. Yes, those messages need to continue. I mean, they're older messages, condom usage, but now you have things of PrEP, and Tia will speak more about that. Risk reduction, people don't sometimes understand risk reduction is very important.
Right.
You could prevent contracting HIV by some of the behaviors that you may need to change.
So
Continue testing.
Right. Can I jump in there about risk reduction? What would some of the risk reductions be, Dean?
Well, you can let the client identify, possibly they may have multiple sex partners, and are they using condoms? Are they on PrEP? Some of those things they can identify that, hey, I might need to get on PrEP because, we have indicated that, your risks are high.
And substance use.
Substance abuse.
Possibly having a partner that's HIV positive.
Yes.
You know that person's HIV positive, but you have to, again, get on PrEP and continue using condoms and things of that sort. So it's still, the message still needs to be out there. Like Carmen said, 35, 40 years into the game, it's still out there that we need to maintain our risk reduction and continue those and continue a message of inclusion.
Right. We're talking to Dean Edwards. He's with PALSS along with Carmen, Julious, and Tia Robinson is with SCDHEC. Before we go to you, Tia, I want to ask Carmen about, you mentioned substance abuse also being a risk factor. And that's why, because that lowers your inhibitions?
Absolutely. And that's often overlooked. We make decisions differently when we're under the influence, whether they're legal or illegal substances, alcohol, beer, those things are legal and easily obtained, but, they do tend to change our ability to make decisions. They do tend to inhibit our make us lose our inhibitions, actually. When you add to that other substances, you have a perfect formula for risk. So when we're talking about risk reduction, it is what we do. It is what we do. We often overlook the fact that substance use is a unique and greatly impactful risk factor.
Yeah. And I don't think people think about that. I mean, you just, I just had a little drink after work or whatever. I'm just doing boom, boom, boom occasionally or leisurely, and not thinking about what the implications are for that. You know, what happens after that?
And people sometimes say, well, I only have one drink a day.
Right.
But that drink could be in that red cup.
That's a big old drink.
And that's like 5 drinks. Okay.
Right.
So, you know, we often say, oh, I don't drink much, I have one drink. But we have to think about how much is that one drink.
Yeah, that's a great point, Carmen. If you've been, like you said, if your one drink is in a big old water cup, I had one around here once somewhere, you know, then you actually,
or mason jar.
Yes. Right. If you can sip on your one drink all day, then you might have had more than one. You had one cup, but you had several drinks. Right. So Tia, Dean spoke several times about PrEP being one of those things that people need to take advantage of, in addition to, you know, as Carmen said, making sure you're not under the influence, you know, you're wearing a condom. So tell us about PrEP, because I'm sure, you know, many of us have seen it and heard about it on TV.
Yes. So PrEP was approved in 2012 as a prevention it uses antiretroviral medications to prevent HIV. And so with pre-exposure prophylaxis, that's what PrEP stands for. You take it before the risk or the exposure that you may have. And it's something that currently there's 2 pills available for PrEP, Truvada and Descovy. Truvada came out in 2012, and again, Descovy recently, October last year, 2019. And so with those medication, both of them are in pill form. And so you have to take a pill once a day consistently. So it's important that you know that you have to take it every day, because the efficacy or the effectiveness of the medication is dependent on if you're taking it every day. So if you're taking it every day, it's going to work, but you have to take it every day as long as there's this risk and you want to continue the medication. But again, at any time you want to discontinue the medication, you can if the risk is no longer there. But even though PrEP is available to prevent HIV, there's still the piece that you still need to use condoms, because it doesn't prevent STIs, sexually transmitted infections. So you want to make sure you're using condoms as well when you're taking PrEP. But to get started on PrEP, the first thing we want to do is make sure you don't have HIV.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to ask. Who is PrEP for? You know, who would qualify to take PrEP?
So the recommendations that CDC has it for MSMs, men who have sex with men, anybody who's tested positive for a sexually transmitted infection, bacterial sexually transmitted infection in the past 6 months. Anyone who uses injection drugs should really consider PrEP. But I would like to say that it says, you know, MSMs, but also it's for anyone who is having inconsistent sex. So we just don't want to target men who have sex with men, because that's stigmatizing. So we just don't want to target them, but it's for anyone who, you know, has that risk.
So a woman could take it?
Truvada. So with Truvada, that's been approved for women. And Descovy is still going through clinical trials for women. So it's only approved for men, and it's not approved for women or cisgender women who identify as women who are born with a uterus and vagina. They can't take Descovy. But like I said, that's still in clinical trials, so that may change. And then there's other medication methods in the horizon for PrEP besides a pill form.
So Descovy and Truvada men can take, but only Truvada is for women.
Correct.
Is that correct? Okay. Right. Correct. And other than that, the only other types of qualifications or recommendations are, you said, you know, you have to, you know, don't have HIV already, and feel like you're at risk. You know, you're taking intravenous needles. You're going to engage in risky behavior. You have multiple sex partners, things of that sort.
Correct.
So as you said, so you take it every day. And then when does the effectiveness kick in? Right after you take that one pill? Or do you have to take it a week or whatever, you know, before it starts working?
Right. So based on studies that's shown that men who are taking PrEP and they're having intercourse with men, so MSMs, it's shown that the effectiveness, it'll be effective, within 7 days. So 7 doses. Now for women taking Truvada, it's a little bit longer, up to 20 days. That they have enough levels in your blood to protect you to prevent HIV.
Right, right. So, Carmen, what's the availability of both of these medications, PrEP?
Well, and again, that's part of the message we want to get out today, that PrEP is available. Of course, you can come to our office or to other AIDS service organizations, and they have PrEP available. I think the main thing that we want folk to know is people are concerned about the cost. We can usually get folk on PrEP at little or no cost to the person if they can come in and we can work with them and try to get them into a program where the PrEP would cost them either very little or nothing. I think the cost scares people, and it would scare me also. But let us work with you and let us get you into a program where we can get that medication for you. I think that is the biggest message about PrEP. Well, there's a lot of big messages, but that's one of the biggest messages about PrEP that we need to get out, that it is accessible, that you can get it, you can afford it, and let us help you with that.
All right. Want to say hi to Gardenia Coleman, who says, great forum. Thank you, Gardenia, for joining us. Please continue to post and share this information out so we can get it to the masses, because as Carmen said, there are treatments, there is PrEP available. And as you say, Carmen, it is accessible for folks. So don't let what you may have heard, stop you from taking advantage of it, or at least calling the folks at Palmetto AIDS Life Support to give you the information. And I think we've got the information scrolling for Palmetto AIDS Life Support. So please contact Palmetto AIDS Life Support. So Dean, are there any side effects to Truvada or Descovy?
They had recently found some side effects to Truvada. In some cases there was a little bit of kidney damage, and maybe bone density issues. So that's why they worked on Descovy and got that approved, which does not have the same side effects. So yes, there was initial, but that's not everybody. It's important to understand that when you do come in for PrEP, you have to go through some testing, kidney function testing and things of that sort to see if you're ready. Some people are not, able to take Truvada. So, and it's an ongoing process. Every 3 months, you go get the same blood work for those particular bodily functions, such as your kidney and your liver. So it's very important to understand that, yes, it's not just you're going to get a pill, but your provider and your counselor will work with you, ensuring that, as you take this pill every day, that it is working for you effectively.
Yes, and just to add to what Dean was saying about monitoring your kidneys, so when you start taking PrEP, they do a test for to check your kidneys called creatinine, and so depending on the levels of that determines if you need to stay on PrEP or if they need to discontinue for PrEP. But another thing that puts you at risk for kidney damage would be chronic diseases such as diabetes, hypertension, all of that kind of has to
have pre-existing conditions.
Right, and that all factors into that. But like he was saying with Descovy, it's less harm on the bone and kidneys. But again, that's only available to MSMs currently. So Truvada would be for women. And so you just have to, if you do have these pre-existing conditions, you want to make sure you get tested. There, providers will provide, do these tests to check your kidneys to make sure that you can take PrEP. And just to mention, I didn't mention this as well, other tests that are required before you before you start taking PrEP is hepatitis B. You want to make sure you don't have active hepatitis B. And although Truvada is proven is effective at treating hepatitis B, you still need to know it, because you just can't abruptly stop taking the medication if you do have active hepatitis B. And then also with hep C. And so they want to check you for Hep C, and then gonorrhea, chlamydia, and syphilis as well.
Okay. All right. So people can contact, and I've got your website up right there. So people can obviously go to your website, Carmen, if they want more information. The phone number is at the bottom of the screen, 803-779-7257. And is there anything else they can go to your website and ascertain? As it says, you can get, obviously you can contact, the folks, but you can see what your services are. I love this, for men, for women, for anyone. What PALSS is, and the several different resources. And then I see here also you've got, of course, your hours of operation, but various events that are coming up too.
So last month we added COVID testing, so you can come in and get your HIV test, STD screening, as well as COVID. So that's very important. It's a one-stop service, and we're very happy to be offering COVID to our clients, and that's anybody. Our clients living with HIV, or our clients just coming in for testing services or support services.
Because we want people to know, even in the midst of this COVID epidemic, your HIV health is important also. So,
right.
I know it's hard to say one is more important than the other. They are not. They're both equally as important. We want everyone to make it through this pandemic, and we want everyone to live healthily through the HIV epidemic also.
Right. So people can, as the website says, they can call you. I think the information is still scrolling, but of course, as you say, they can contact you. His contact information here, staff information, as I said, events, and the various services. Again, it says for men, for women, and for everyone. That website is PALSS.org, Palmetto AIDS Life Support Services. Anything else we need to know about, anything else we need to know about PrEP right now?
Go ahead, Carmen.
I would just say that if you have questions, please contact us. We want to follow science. And so we, strictly follow the information, the factual information, and we can share that with you. Please ask your questions. If you are interested in PrEP, give us a call and let us talk with you about what it is. Let's get rid of all the myths and misconceptions
absolutely.
3 years ago, and let's talk about what your situation is.
Yeah. Elisa Roblier says excellent information. Keisha Dias says excellent one-stop shop. And Q Jenkins Parnell says absolutely important. Thank you all so much for joining us. Please continue to post and share this information out, because it takes all of us to utilize our resources so everyone can know, as Keisha said, about this one-stop shop with Palmetto AIDS Life Support Services. As you say, the information is available. You all have the resources, and many of the services are free, correct, yeah. Carmen?
Many of our services are at no cost. Certainly, we do take insurance, and we have funding that we can help persons who are not able to afford those services. So again, we can help almost anyone. And I think Tia had a comment. I want to make sure she says she is our PrEP expert. I didn't want to cut her off.
Oh, no, I was just going to say it's just important to increase awareness about PrEP.
Yeah,
and making sure we get the word out there, because right now I feel like women don't understand that PrEP is for them as well. Because right now, with the PrEP use that we have in South Carolina, it's a little under 1,300 is what's reported by AIDSView. It's probably a little bit higher than that, but reported by AIDSView, there's a little bit less than 1,300 people on PrEP, and 93% of those are men. But Truvada is available for women. So just to make sure we're increasing their awareness, we have a lot of events going on next week to kind of increase PrEP awareness across the state.
Elisa wants to know, have the hours of operation changed because of COVID?
We have switched some of our hours of operation. However, we are open every day, and we're open late on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We're open until 7 on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we're open every other Saturday from 10 to 2. Give us a call. We'll make sure that you get our hours and there is someone there to assist you. We have staff there every day. We've again staggered our staff, but there is someone there every day who can assist you.
Yeah, thank you, Alicia, for your question. You can see the information about PALSS, the website, and the phone number right there. So please contact them, as Carmen said, and or go on to the website. The new hours of operation, they can get them from the website. Or
Absolutely.
Okay, it's on the website, Alicia, and also if you give them a call, I'm sure they'll be glad to work with you. Tia, thank you so much for joining us so much, and for the work that you're doing. Yeah, let's get the message out that women who need it can utilize the PrEP. There is PrEP for them too, and definitely for men also. If you are engaging in risky behavior, and we talked about what that risky behavior is, better safe than sorry. Go ahead and contact the folks at PALSS and at least have a conversation and find out what the options are.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Because there are options available. And as Carmen said, they take insurance, but they'll be glad to work with you. Don't let what you may have heard deter you from calling or contacting Palmetto AIDS Life Support Services so that they can help you live a happy and safe and productive life. You can still live a great life. You don't have to be afraid of what might happen. You can take control of your life. Tia, thank you so much.
Alrighty, thank you.
Absolutely. Next on Coping with COVID, Dean and Carmen are going to rejoin us, and then we're going to bring in Alexis Lindsay. She's going to join the panel to discuss the concerns on college campuses. Plus, your chance to win Tre's birthday giveaway. It is my birth month, and we're hooking you up with the prizes. That's coming up next on Coping with COVID. I'm Tre Tailor.
Coping with COVID is brought to you by the South Carolina Department of Health and Environmental Control. Visit scdhec.gov for an updated list of testing sites and important information on how to protect yourself, your family, and friends from the coronavirus. SCDHEC, healthy people, healthy communities. Also, the City of Columbia Office of Business Opportunities, helping to meet the needs of small, minority, and women-owned businesses in the City of Columbia. Log on to columbiasc.net/OBO. Agape Counseling and Training Center. Call 803-779-2777 for licensed professionals of counselors and social workers helping families, engaged and married couples, and individuals of all ages gain an understanding of all aspects of their life. If you're having a challenge coping with COVID, contact Agape Counseling and Training Center at agapects.com. And Columbia Housing Authority. The agency is looking for stories from former residents of Allen Benedict Court to retain some of the property's rich history. In its 80-year life, Allen Benedict Court has been home to some of the country's elite, including a Grammy Award-winning performer, corporate executives, national television celebrities, a host of doctors, lawyers, and NBA greats. So share your pictures, mementos, and memories at chcares@chasc.org. Coping with COVID, brought to you by the South Carolina Department of Health and Environmental Control, the City of Columbia Office of Business Opportunities, Columbia Housing Authority, Agape Counseling and Training Center, and Palmetto Media Connection.
Coping with COVID with Tre Tailor.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Bishop, and it's Tre's birthday, y'all, and you get the gift, an autographed copy of my new debut book, Now Get Up and Go Be Great, a tool that I want you to use to be empowered and encouraged to keep pushing through. So happy birthday, Tre, and congratulations to you from me, Jennifer Bishop, and Coping with COVID with Tre Tailor.
I want to thank Jennifer Bishop and all of our sponsors for donating prizes to Tre's birthday giveaway. Coming up, your chance to win. But first, we're joined again by Carmen, Julious, CEO with PALSS, Palmetto AIDS Life Support Services, Dean Edwards, Program Manager, and Alexis Lindsay joins us now. And she is also with Palmetto AIDS Life Support Services, and she is with what is it called? I'm sorry.
Samsha.
Samsha. Thank you so much, Dean. Good looking out. We had a power outage, so I'm flying solo now. So tell us, Alexis, what is Samsha?
I'm on mute here. Can you hear me now? I think I was on mute for a moment.
We can hear you.
Excellent.
We can hear you.
So SAMHSA is a federal agency. It stands for Substance Abuse and Mental Health Service Administration. And so we have received funding from SAMHSA to implement a new Prevention Navigator program, or our RISE program, as we're calling it, which stands for Risk Reduction through Innovative Screening, Treatment, and Education. And so through this program, we have the wonderful opportunity to work with college-age young adults to do HIV and substance misuse prevention. And so we're extending a huge thank you to our partners at Allen University for their willingness and enthusiasm, really, to partner with us on this initiative. We're going to take this opportunity to provide some staff training and professional development to the staff members within the Student Health Center at Allen around HIV and substance misuse and the risk associated with those activities. PALSS is also going to be providing some on-site screening and testing services to the students at Allen around HIV, STIs, and substance use disorders. And we're going to be coupling those strategies with more evidence-based approaches to health prevention and education to make sure that we're providing thorough and comprehensive services to not only the students at Allen, but really college-age students in our community. So really excited about this new venture.
Right. I was going to ask about that because you said the initiative is with Allen University. So is that just maybe the pilot program and then you're going to branch out after that program with Allen?
Absolutely, absolutely. So we've already established a formal relationship with Allen to come in and provide services to their students, but we're most definitely looking forward to the opportunity to partner with additional community agencies that are looking to provide these services to their patrons as well. Absolutely.
So tell me, what are some of the issues that you're seeing on college campuses? I could just only imagine. I was a college student.
Absolutely, absolutely. So as Ms. Carmen alluded to already, substance use has a very strong connection with increased risk for risky sexual behaviors. And so that is amplified on a college campus. And you see many colleges and universities that employ strategies to reduce the risk associated with alcohol use particularly. So while we are focused on substance use with this initiative, we'll definitely be focusing on alcohol misuse as well. And again, college students in particular think that they don't have those added risks that they hear about, that the bad things are not going to happen to them, or they're kind of immune to the risk that they're exposing themselves to. And so providing further education around that, I think it's easier when you're talking about behavioral changes to employ earlier intervention efforts. Once you get older and you're accustomed to your own behaviors, it becomes much difficult to kind of break those habits or those behaviors. And so we're certainly looking forward to working with this new age group.
So when you're talking to students, whether it be on the campus or wherever, do they get it? Are they saying, I mean, I understand they think they're invincible, but they know that they're having sex. I mean, you know that, and they know that they're, obviously engaging in substance abuse, whatever that might be, as Carmen said. Mm-hmm. So is it clicking to them that there is a correlation between, getting drunk, getting high, whatever, and whatever may happen after that?
Sure. I think that we could do a better job of communicating to them and having them understand that your decision making is distorted when you're under the influence. And so, it's no different from thinking that, I've had a beer or two and I'm perfectly capable to drive. You're not capable to drive. You're not capable of making those sound decisions. And so I'm doing a better job to educate them on that factor. And of course, merging that connection with the increased risk for not having the ability to make sound sexual decisions, I think is important. So I think that they understand it, but again, helping them to understand that your judgment is impaired when you're choosing to make these decisions, and being able to connect that with their decision making is important.
Now, is this program for both gay and straight students?
It is. We certainly have a focused population for this initiative, which would be African-American men who have sex with men, African-American women who have sex with men, and African American men who have sex with women in regards to our HIV prevention efforts. So those would be our focus population for this initiative, but our services are readily available for those that identify with the LGBTQ community and those that don't.
That's great. And congratulations on your partnership with Allen University. Are adults, and listen, Allen is a church-based school, so that's big for them, I think, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And kudos to Allen for recognizing that this is a very special time in any person's life, these college age years when we begin adulting and begin to try to make adult decisions.
That's right.
You know, often out of the purview of our parents. And so kudos to Allen University for being concerned about the health of their students, because this is about health. As we know, the majority of African-American professionals, doctors, lawyers, attorneys, government persons, politicians come from HBCUs. We want to make sure that this is a healthy foundation for our community to grow from. And so, again, we really are appreciative of Allen University for taking this bold step. And certainly we would like for other colleges and universities to come along with us. We've worked with various colleges and universities over time, but you know, I really appreciate this partnership with Allen University.
Oh, and if I can say real quick, you know, PALSS has had a long-standing partnership with Allen University. I'm an Allen alum, and back in the 90s, PALSS was on campus at Allen, so we really appreciate these probably 25 years of partnership with Allen University, and then continuing our efforts and updating some of our services with Allen University.
Yes.
Yeah, that says so much about Allen. You're right, Carmen. You know, and like you said, Dean, they've been on board with this for years.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. So, are you actually training staff in addition to coming on campus with your own staff to talk to the students?
Yes. We will be providing staff training to the staff members at the Student Health Center to help them better you know, identify risks when they see them presented in students. And then, of course, we will be bringing PALSS staff actually on campus to conduct the testing and also to provide that linkage with our organization and the additional linkage to care services that we provide in the community.
So in addition to letting them know that, you know, you've got to be conscientious about your behavior because it directly affects A, B, C, D, E, F, G, whatever, or what else, what other messaging are you saying to them?
So definitely, like I said, educating them on the risk associated with not only HIV, but STIs in general, and then the connection between that and substance misuse, and just teaching them how to, you know, navigate that environment in a safer way when you are engaging in drinking behaviors, how to do that safely and moderately in a way that you can still maintain control and make those healthy decisions. We also want to equip students with the skills to negotiate safe sexual practices, to include condom usage, and of course, when they're in a college environment, engaging in safe drinking practices as well.
Right, and that's what I was going to ask. So you telling them, you know, make sure you use a condom. Are you giving them condoms? Do they have access to condoms on campus?
Absolutely, absolutely, yes.
Yeah,
and testing. We're giving access to testing also. And again, this is open to anyone, but certainly we want college age students to know that we often come on site to do testing. They can come to our office to do testing. Students have called Dean and we've had our van go pick them up so they can come to our office to do testing.
Oh, that's good.
Yes.
Yeah. So again, you are, like I said, you're not letting anything stand in your way of them getting the services and the information that they need.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We are also partnering with Transitions Home to Shelter as well with this initiative, as well as the house ball community. And I think you met Trent Hayes last time.
Yes.
So he's with the house ball community, and we're partnering with them to do a ball in the new year. So, you know, we're trying to, you know, get all college age youth, not just at Allen, but any college age youth interested in the program, educated about the program, and, you know, use the services that we provide.
Right. How is the response? How are the kids reacting and responding to the information?
Well, we just started. We just was awarded in August. So we're still working on, you know, implementation right now. So hopefully by January, we will have it in the community and be able to give you some feedback on that.
So how do they typically respond? Because I know this isn't you guys' first time kind of, working with college students. Do they seem to be amenable to hearing the information? I'm sure they're glad to get the condoms. They're free condoms, but do they want to hear the information? Are they amenable to hearing?
Yes, a lot of the times it's the first time. Some college age youth, first time coming to college, maybe the first time getting a test, even hearing about free testing. So
Right.
on campus is it's very easy process for them to get tested. And, once they get tested once, every time we go back out there, they want to say, oh, I need to get my test. Or they come back from the summer or the Christmas holiday, I need to get tested. So the message is out there. It's all about consistency, and people knowing that the service that we provide is for them. And, they really like the idea that, our counselors are able to talk to them and with them about their risk reduction.
And that's so important. I'm sorry, Carmen. I was just going to say that's so important that the kids, young people, students can relate, and you guys can relate to them, and they don't feel intimidated or feel like someone's talking down to them.
Exactly.
That's so important. You were going to say something, Carmen?
I was going to say in 2018 or 2019, I'm not sure. I've talked with a group of freshmen at University of South Carolina talking about HIV rates in our area and talking about the risk behaviors that are prominent in our area. And I was shocked to learn how many people did not realize, how many of those freshmen did not realize that there was an HIV epidemic. They didn't realize how serious the HIV epidemic is. And so we often assume that this group grew up hearing about HIV, and many of them did not hear about it. Many of them were not understanding. So programs like this are important to let folk know that there is risk behavior, that they are able to personalize that risk and understand what behaviors they are engaging in that put them at risk, and to intervene before those behaviors become a positive test result.
Yeah, that just speaks to what we were talking about at the top of the show, whereas almost 40 years of HIV/AIDS and still having to remind people or re-inform people, and sometimes for the first time, because if you think about it, like you said, I mean, if HIV/AIDS has been around for 40 years, a young person, it may have been off their radar.
Absolutely.
Depending on what type of, background they came from.
Yes.
So, ignorance is not bliss. You got to know what's out there. You got to know what's going on so that you can protect yourself. And
parents tend to want to protect their children. Parents tend to want to protect their children from anything ugly, anything bad. And so a lot of those students may not have heard because their parents didn't want to put that burden on them. So here we are with a whole population of students who really don't understand the magnitude of the HIV epidemic. And so this intervention, I think, is going to be very helpful, not only for students at this particular HBCU, but I think community-wide for that college age youth.
Yeah. Marvell Williams Mendenhall says this is a wealth of information. Michelle Harris says this is life-saving information. It is. Thank you, ladies, so much for joining us. Please continue to post and share this information out so we can get the message to the masses, because young people, old people, all people need to know about the services with Palmetto AIDS Life Support. Now, Carmen, I know that you have many partners, and I want to talk about this. You've got some events here that you did. You want to talk a little bit about this?
We are just so lucky to have so many partners to help us. We have a food pantry at PALSS, and as you may realize, there has been a great demand for food stability during this COVID epidemic. Not only just food, but feminine items, a number of things, personal hygiene items, all those kinds of things. So we are very happy to have this community partner to make this giant donation to our food pantry. Dean, can you tell me Pastor Tiffany and Pastor
Tiffany and Pastor Rochelle at the Way Church in West Columbia, Platte Springs Road, made their community outreach program last month for PALSS.
Yes.
And they donated well over, I think, $1,500 worth of food to our pantry. So we really appreciate the Way family in making that donation.
Thank you. I blanked for a moment. Yes, the way.
Yeah, that's okay. Dean had your back, girl.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's amazing. So again, resources, information, services, those are still for students. And again, people, the young people can still check out your website for information.
And, we have programs that will fit for almost anyone. So please, this is one program and we're glad to have it. This is a new program, one that we've been working for a while. We have services for women. We have services for men. We have services for youth. We can work with everyone. Again, we work with individuals and we make sure that our services answer individual needs. So please contact us. And, even if you would like to volunteer, we use community volunteers. I know it's a little bit of a challenge now with COVID. We're limiting our volunteers, but we do have interns that work with us. We are an organization that is truly community based, and we are truly responsive to the community. So I appreciate that. I have a great staff. Everyone of our staff is able to flex and adjust to what an individual's needs are.
So volunteerism, because I was going to ask, what do you need from the community? Volunteerism?
Yes, volunteerism. Currently, we have a different kind of training for our volunteers. Of course, in light of the COVID pandemic, we have always trained our staff to follow universal precautions, but certainly our volunteers need to take an extra step now that we are in the midst of COVID. Certainly, we have openings in the evening with our HIV testing clinic, and we will welcome volunteers to work with that. We love to have volunteers who are students who might be able to help us with outreach and condom distribution and those kinds of things. So there is a lot of activities that we certainly can use volunteers for, and we do have a volunteer training that everyone completes before working with our consumers.
And then you have a Cash App. People can donate financially, Carmen?
Absolutely. Organizations have to turn on lights. We have to have telephones that work. Certainly, we appreciate any and all donations. You see this wonderful donation we had to our food pantry. Our food pantry is open to all of our consumers. And certainly we want to keep that stocked even as we move into the winter when food stability is even more important. So we accept donations of toiletries, soap, deodorant, combs, razors, any of those kind of things, feminine hygiene products, and of course, as always, food.
Yeah. Okay, great. As you can see, the information for Palmetto AIDS Life Support Services is scrolling at the bottom of the screen. The Cash App information, the phone number. We talked about the website. So please contact them and let's get this message out that Palmetto AIDS Life Support is here and in the community and available with resources, information, and services for every member of our community. It doesn't matter who you are. Palmetto AIDS Life Support Services are there for you. Carmen Julious, CEO of PALSS, thank you so much, beautiful, for all of the great work that you're doing in the community, along with Dean Edwards and Alexis Lindsay. Thank you so much for working with our young people. You look like you're about in 10th grade yourself over there.
Thank you.
Thank you for always helping us out with getting the message out to the community and for all you do for our community. We appreciate you.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for coming on Coping with COVID. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye. All right. So again, don't forget to contact the folks at Palmetto AIDS Life Support Services. We can continue to scroll that information on the bottom of the screen. Elisa Robler says, wonderful services, wonderful organizations. Yes, Elisa, that is so true. Right now, we're giving you a chance to win. It's my birthday and you get the gifts.
It's your birthday, shawty.
That's right. It's my birth month, and you get the gifts. A Coping with COVID reusable mask, 10 disposable masks from the City of Columbia Office of Business Opportunities and Palmetto Media Connections, Sabriti Body Butter and Lip Balm, a free service from the European Wax Center, gift certificates from Deneen, the Coffee Queen, and New York High Style, and an autographed copy of Jennifer Bishop's timely motivational book, Now Get Up and Go Be Great, a Jesus Always sampler, and J. Anthony Brown's Hotter Than a Mofo products. Now you keep watching for your chance to win Monday through Saturday at 2 p.m., airing live on Facebook Live, IG, and YouTube. It's my birthday, and you get the gifts on Coping with COVID with Tre Tailor. Good luck.
And we want to make you a winner for the Tre birthday giveaway. When we first opened with Palmetto AIDS Life Support Services, Tia Robinson, Carmen, Julious, and Dean Edwards were with us. And they talked about a specific medication, not the names of the medications, but kind of a program that could help male and female. It's a pill that you would take and that it would help you from getting HIV/AIDS. Do you remember what that was called? 4 letters. If you can remember, go ahead and post it in the comments and we'll hook you up today with Tre's birthday giveaway. While you do that, I want to remind you tomorrow it's Faith Friday. Can't wait to talk to this incredible man of God. Andre Barnes joins us to tell us how to find the opportunities in COVID. Saturday, a panel of students and doctors will talk about the challenges kids are having while virtual learning. Do you know if your kids are okay mentally and emotionally? Well, we're going to hear from them and find out what you need to do about it. That's Saturday on Coping with COVID. Next week, Akintunde joins us on Fun Day Monday with J. Anthony Brown. And then Tuesday, you can get in on the show. It's our virtual learning tip show. Rashonda Pratt is going to join us to tell us tips for parents and students, like don't be cussing out the bill collector while your child's on the Zoom class, stuff like that. But we're going to put the link to the show in the comments so that you can log on and be part of the show and give us your tips too. That's coming up next week on Coping with COVID. I see we've got a winner, Keisha Dyer. Keisha Dyer was the first person that said PrEP. Keisha, congratulations. You are the winner.
Congratulations, and thank you so much for watching Coping with COVID. Now you keep watching for your chance to win Monday through Saturday at 2 p.m., airing live on Facebook Live, IG, and YouTube. It's my birthday, and you get the gifts on Coping with COVID with Tre Tailor.
Hey, Keisha, congratulations. Thank you. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Someone with the Coping with COVID team will contact you to get your mailing address so we can work out the arrangements to get your prize to you. Thank you again. Listen, if you have a story that could help someone cope with COVID, please go to the TailorMade production page and inbox me. We would love to get your story to the masses. If you have a product or service that could help someone cope with COVID, please email copingwithtretailer@gmail.com. copingwithtretailer@gmail.com. The information is right there. And we'd love to talk to you about how you could be part of the show, how you could be a proud sponsor, just like the City of Columbia Office of Business Opportunities, SCDHEC, In It Together, Palmetto Media Connections, Agape Counseling and Training Center, and Columbia Housing Authority. As we leave, I always give you a reading from Jesus Calling. Today, Jesus says, live first and foremost in my presence. Gradually, you will become more aware of me than people and places around you. This awareness will not distract you from your relationship with others. Instead, it will increase your ability to give love and encouragement to them. Man, that's good. My peace will permeate your world and demeanor. You will be active in the world. You are not one step removed from it. You will not be easily shaken because my enveloping presence buffers the blow of problems. This is the path I have set before you. As you follow it wholeheartedly, you experience abundant life and peace. That's your Jesus Calling for today, Thursday, September 24th. I'm Tre Tailor. Thank you again so much for joining us on Coping with COVID. Until the next time, I wish you peace, abundant blessings. Please be careful and don't forget to wear your mask over your nose and under your chin. See you tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Bishop, and it's Tre's birthday, y'all, and you get the gift, an autographed copy of my new debut book, Now Get Up and Go Be Great, a tool that I want you to use to be empowered and encouraged to keep pushing through. So happy birthday, Tre, and congratulations to you from me, Jennifer Bishop, and Coping with COVID with Tre Tailor.
Coping with COVID is brought to you by the South Carolina Department of Health and Environmental Control. Visit scdheck.gov for an updated list of testing sites and important information on how to protect yourself, your family, and friends from the coronavirus. SCDHEC, healthy people, healthy communities. Also, the City of Columbia Office of Business Opportunities, helping to meet the needs of small, minority, and women-owned businesses in the City of Columbia. Log on to columbiasc.net/OBO. Agape Counseling and Training Center. Call 803-779-2777 for licensed professionals of counselors and social workers helping families, engaged and married couples, and individuals of all ages gain an understanding of all aspects of their life. If you're having a challenge coping with COVID, contact Agape Counseling and Training Center at agapects.com. And Columbia Housing Authority. The agency is looking for stories from former residents of Allen Benedict Court to retain some of the property's rich history. In its 80-year life, Allen Benedict Court has been home to some of the country's elite, including a Grammy Award-winning performer, corporate executives, national television celebrities, a host of doctors, lawyers, and NBA greats. So share your pictures, mementos, and memories at chcares@chasc.org. Coping with COVID, brought to you by the South Carolina Department of Health and Environmental Control, the City of Columbia Office of Business Opportunities, Columbia Housing Authority, Agape Counseling and Training Center, and Palmetto Media Connection.
Coping with COVID with Tre Tailor.